give all of the praises to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh, Bashmi Hawashai, Bashmi Rakah, Gradash, and double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to the Hakim that have continued to further his ministry throughout the four corners of the earth, and shalom to those that are learning and listening. And it's the brother Mark coming at you with another lesson here, and I don't know what I'm going to entitle it, but I'll get there when I get there. But anyway, let's begin and read Exodus 19 verse 5 as it reads, "Now therefore, if you will obey my voice, indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all of the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. And these are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel." And that's what we're doing to you right now, being that we've returned to this wisdom and understanding of knowing who we are and what we're supposed to be doing. We're telling our people that we got something much more greater coming, rather than being told by your father, your mother, your uncle, your cousin that you got to get a J.O.B. I'm telling you, amongst many, that the Lord has something greater, that we will become rulers and kings. But we're not experiencing that right now, as I've said many times, and I'll say it again. It's because we disobeyed the covenant by disobeying the laws, statutes, and commandments, and this is why we are working under these other nations. This is why we have no choice but to work, all right? But that's all going to change. And let's read Genesis 32. And this is after Jacob fought the angel, and the angel blessed him with another name. And he broke down what the name represented, all right? So let's read this. "And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with the Most High and with men, and has prevailed." So with that being the case, we're a nation of prevailers, not a nation of being subdued. And as I've said, we are a nation of prevailers, and when the Messiah comes back, it's going to be well known that we've prevailed against our enemies and overstepped, or should I say, overtook the reapers, as I've just read to you in I believe it's in the book of Amos, the 9th chapter, in my last video. And then it's going to be well known that not only are we a nation of prevailers, but the nation of the Most High himself. Okay? And we're not a nation that is supposed to be subdued under another nation, working and laboring and toiling until we can't even lift our pinky finger anymore. All right? And we're getting paid scraps. No, we're supposed to be dominating the world, calling the shots, and leading the nations to follow the commandments of God and being the examples of what righteousness is all about. All right? That's what we were created to do and to become. And that's what's going to happen eventually. Even though we didn't keep the commandments, that does not mean we're going to be subdued under Esau forever and ever. No, that's not the plan of the Most High. The plan of the Most High was to set us up with the blessings anyway. But because we've discontinued from the covenant by not keeping the commandments, he allowed us to be downtrodden under these nations. All right? And like I said, the ultimate role, when it's all said and done, that the Most High wants us to play forever and ever, is to be rulers and the priests of the earth. Going back to the book of Exodus 19, verse 6. So let's read this again. "And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation, and these are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel." That's where we're supposed to be at. All right? So let's read Isaiah 9:6. It says, "For unto us a child is born, which is Yahushai. Unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, and the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David, and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever, in the zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. And this is what's going on right now. This is why the camps are gathering together under the name of Yahweh Shai with this gospel, because the Lord is simply reformulating the house of David that was fallen. All right? And this is why you have brothers all around the world that's teaching in the name of Yahweh Shai. That's the house of David right there. And there's other scriptures that says that on how he will restore the house of David. And there's a scripture that I'm thinking about where it goes like this. It goes like in saying how he will restore the judges as in the days of old. And we are those judges that are being restored. Because what are we doing right now? We're judging the world right now. When we go out there and we further this ministry the way that we do, and people come up, they're either going to be told what they need to be doing or they're going to get judged. Okay? That's how it is. Like when people come up, especially of our own people, they're either coming up to get reproved, in some cases rebuked, and then the judgment will fall upon them through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. So that's what we're set up to do. We're set up to be judges. The Lord is setting up men that will be judges of the house of David. And that there will be peace. And this is when the kingdom is set up. So when the kingdom of heaven is set up, we're going to be the rulers. And this is something that the Most High will allow his son to do. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 24. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom of the Most High. Let's read this again. Then cometh the end, then he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High. So who is this that will deliver the kingdom to the Most High? Yahweh Shai. As it says, then cometh the end. The end of who? The end of the so-called white man's rulership. Modern day Rome as we are in today. So when this Roman Empire collapses and completely comes to an end, which it will do in many forms and fashions and ways that we're seeing right now, then Yahweh Shai is going to come and pretty much destroy this kingdom in the midst of this nuclear war. And then he will set up our kingdom. And we're going to be what we should have been to begin with. A kingdom of priests. All right. And an holy nation. Now, when you look up this word kingdom in the Greek, the word is, excuse me.
Strong's G 932. Basileia. Basileia.
Basileia. Royal power, kingship, dominion, rule. Not to be confused with an actual kingdom. It is an actual kingdom, actually. So they're going off on that. Of the royal power of Yahweh Shai as the triumphant Messiah, of the royal power and dignity conferred on Christians in the Messiah's kingdom. And they're right about that, because the real Christians can only be Israelites. The word Christian goes back to the Greek word Christos, which means anointed. And the only people that were anointed in the ancient world to be priests of anybody or anything were the children of Israel, the sons of Israel. So the Christians is referring to the Israelites. It ain't referring to any old other nation that can just believe in the Lord. Nah, if he's not coming from the correct lineage, the chosen nation, then he's not an Israelite and he cannot be a part of the kingdom. So therefore, the real Christians are the Israelites. A kingdom, the territory subject to the rule of a king. So in other words, we're going to be in power, of royal power, all right? Right along with the Messiah, Yahweh Shai. So that's what was being set up. What's being set up is a actual kingdom, which will be here on this earth, not in no sky somewhere. The Christians believe. What's going to happen is we're going to rule the planet, and by that being the case, we're going to rule the nations with the laws, statutes, and commandments, and we're going to put them in slavery, all right? And they're going to build our kingdom up as well as while they're keeping our commandments. And I'm probably going to do a part 2 to this video here. And I just wanted to say a couple of more things that I didn't say on my last video that I did when I was speaking about Tesco's and our people working for these major corporations and getting very little back in return of what they're being paid. And I just wanted to just emphasize a little bit more on where we're supposed to be as a nation. And where we're supposed to be as a nation is above all nations, as it says in Exodus 19, verse 5, on how if we had kept the covenant, we would have been a peculiar treasure and above all people. And that's what's getting ready to happen anyway. So just because we didn't keep the covenant, that doesn't mean that we're going to be subdued forever. But the Lord is going to eventually set us up in the right place at the right time. Okay, it's just that we're suffering because we didn't keep the commandments, and that's really what it is right there. That's why we're under Esau, and Esau's feeling himself and all the above. But they're just feeling themselves for a particular moment in time until we wind up rising up against them and putting them in a place that belongs to them. And what belongs to these so-called white people is that they're going to be slaves. That's what's supposed to happen. Not us being slaves to them, but them being slaves under us. So I just wanted to just make that point as well. So with that, I give all praises to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Avakak, with that I say, Shalom.